So, hey guys, so today I'm gonna share with you a little bit of my new discovery about why work ethic is, even though it is still a worthy trait even after what I did with my research, its value is legitimately not as astounding as people commonly assumed, or people first impressions are work ethic is something super highly respected when in reality its respect should there are many things that deserves way more respect than work ethic, even though it's still pretty good. So let me tell you guys about why it is today. So there are two main references. One is from my analysis on the Bojjhanga Sutta, the Enlightenment Factor Sutta, the Enlightenment Factor Sermon. The other one is from the Vassakara Sermon, Vassakara Sutta. So the first one is that in the seven enlightenment factors, there is something called the uh, pasadi, tranquility about material is. Now, tranquility itself can be split into two main categories, two main domains when it comes to the tranquility factor. Either it could be about tranquility about the material ease, which is right livelihood, or it could be about tranquility about the sense of self or personhood, which is about right speech. That also confirms that right, why the enlightenment factor, the number of enlightenment factors, and the number of equal path factors, noble path factors didn't match up because there was one factor that can be split into two. The rest is like 1 to 1 matched together, right? So this lines up the theory lines up the hypothesis pretty well. So the tranquility, the work ethic, or 自力更生, or actively trying to live in the fruits of your craft, actively trying to do your craft yourself and then living off the fruits of it, is about tranquility with material ease. It's about the training of that, and so this is pretty important to take note of. I can, I don't have anyone to reference to, right, about is this thing reputable, but I can confidently say this is 100% accurate because I have I have done the most logical method and also make it super easy to understand. I don't think I have any faults in this, so I believe it is pretty much accurate when it comes to this analysis of mine. The other side is that, okay, we'll talk about the why it's a worthy trait, right? Why work ethic is a worthy trait, but why work ethic is not as astounding as people assume it to be, right? This is because of the Vassakara Sutta, right? In the Vassakara Sutta, the Lord Buddha declared four traits of someone with great wisdom and discernment, and the first one he tells is that declare what is skillful actions, right? This is basically he was describing or implying the pair between right action and right livelihood, um, which is the tranquility with material ease, right? So the work ethic side is about right livelihood, which basically means it was already the least superior in the of or the most inferior um, path factor or enlightenment factor of the seven factors or eight factors, whichever number it is. Now that doesn't mean it should be like step on to the step on harshly as third. Like it is still relatively valuable compared to what most people trying to pursue. Right, work ethic and tranquility about material is it indeed still a worthy trait. It's just like the Buddha declared there are many more stuff that are way more superior traits compared to something like work ethic or tranquility about material ease. So this is something people need to be aware of. I think that's pretty important because I do believe willpower, like, or like mental redirection, or something called rudi zoi, or like um, consciousness willpower, or something like having inner confidence in Dharma, or even just like relationships or tranquility about um, your sense of self. This sense of self is a little bit more that one, but I know willpower and like inner confidence in Dharma is way more superior compared to like tranquility with material ease. So that this part I can relate to, agree with, and also I can vouch for and confirm that this is also true. This is like way inferior compared to the other three. So this is why um, work ethic is not as astounding as people claim it to be. Now, I'm not gonna shame you guys if you guys find work ethic a pretty is your best is a unique thing that you like to pursue. You have so that you have more inner confidence in goodwill and wholesome qualities, then you should pursue it. Just I think either one you should not um, try to force others into the idea that everyone should pursue a work ethic. Right? Um, Everyone should not have the same standard of work ethic as you did. That's what I wanted to imply. And the other thing is like, material ease, tranquility with material ease is still based a lot on these. Like tranquility itself is also because tranquility is according to the standard of the sense of self, right? You determine when your mind determines when it is tranquil regarding to material ease, or when you are like trying to be commotional or making like arguments or turmoil with other people when it comes to like having material comfort or sensual comfort. And those compared to something like internal willpower like jhanas or right effort or mental redirection, right? Right effort and mental redirection are the same thing. 如理作意. Also, or something like understanding, you know, what the purpose of life is about. Let me put it in concise words. What makes you happy? You like more friends. You want to protect what is important to you, right? And then to make it easy to understand, or like just to be unique and stand out in the goodwill, wholesome qualities kind of way, right? Right, kind of like distinction by practice of goodwill and skillful or wholesome qualities. Like these things are give way more impact than something like tranquility about material ease, or like in this topic work ethic. And so I think you need to not be too delusional that this thing is important to you, and you should try, if you want to try to build a legacy around it or build a unique standout distinction, like goodwill. This is a good distinction, right? So if you want to build it, you can build it, right? There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to chase it, you should try to chase it, but you shouldn't force others onto the same standards as yours, as well as recognizing that it is still inferior compared to the other three at the very least. So this is what I want to talk about in today's video. So in conclusion, this is why work ethic is still a valuable trait in and of itself, and if you want to chase it, you should chase after it, but you shouldn't force others onto the same standards as yours when it comes to work ethic. And also, this is also the reason, the reason I listed previously are the reasons why work ethic isn't as astounding as people claim it to be. Because of the good side is because of Bojjhanga Sutta. The not as astounding side is because of the Vassakara Sutta. So sermon. The sutta is also called sermon, sermon. So thank you very much for listening to today's video.